My name is Grace, and the day I got fired for working 2 jobs felt like my whole world shattered. They didn't even bother to check which jobs I actually had. Everything I thought I knew about loyalty, trust, and people I called friends crumbled in an instant, and I realized I had to fight for myself. My name is Grace, and I never thought a single meeting could shatter everything I believed about trust. Grace, can you come to HR for a quick chat? Olivia's voice crackled through my headset, cold and clipped. I frowned. Sure, what's this about? My stomach sank. She didn't answer. I knew HR didn't call for casual chats. When I walked into the office, Olivia was seated behind her polished desk, Emily standing awkwardly beside her. Have a seat, Olivia said. Her eyes didn't meet mine, focused instead on some papers. Saturday, is something wrong? I asked. Emily gave me a tight, polite smile. My chest tightened. Grace, Olivia began, her voice steady, we've discovered that you've been working 2 jobs while employed here. I blinked. Excuse me? Emily cleared her throat, shifting uncomfortably. They're serious, Grace. 2 jobs. I repeated, incredulous. I work here full-time, yes. But my other job, I hesitated. I don't see how it's a problem. I've never let either job affect this one. Olivia raised a hand. Company policy prohibits working outside jobs that conflict with your schedule or performance. I opened my mouth, then closed it. Conflict. My performance has been impeccable. I don't even understand which jobs you're talking about. I only have one second part-time job at the cafe to cover my rent. Emily shifted again, her eyes flicking toward Olivia. My stomach dropped. Emily, did you say something to HR? She smiled faintly. I just mentioned, that you were pretty busy. Her tone was light, almost teasing. But it felt like a knife twisting in my chest. I shook my head. You set me up. I didn't, Emily started, but Olivia cut in. I'm sorry, Grace, Olivia said. Her voice was firm. We have no choice. Your employment is terminated, effective immediately. Wait. You can't do this. You didn't even check. My hands trembled. I work 2 jobs to survive, to pay bills. I've never missed a deadline. You're firing me because someone who envies me, told a half-truth. Emily didn't respond. She just looked away, uncomfortable. My heart pounded, tears threatening to spill. I can't believe this, I whispered, more to myself than anyone else. After everything, after all the late nights, my voice cracked. You need to collect your things, Olivia said. Security will escort you out if necessary. I stood, gripping my bag so tightly my knuckles ached. I trusted you, I said, glancing at Emily. I thought we were friends. Emily's face softened for a moment, then hardened again. I'm sorry, Grace. Sorry. I laughed bitterly, the sound hollow. Sorry doesn't fix this. Sorry doesn't pay my rent or keep my lights on. Walking out, I felt every eye in the office on me. Whispers followed. My chest ached, not from physical exertion, but from the betrayal burning inside me. That night, I sat on my bed, staring at my phone. Emails, calls, texts, I avoided them all. My hands shook. I couldn't sleep. The betrayal kept replaying, Emily's smile, Olivia's coldness. How easily trust shattered. I thought about my life outside work. Family, friends, people I confided in, could they all be just as easily persuaded to doubt me? I shivered. The thought of being alone in this, of everyone silently judging, terrified me. I can't let this define me, I muttered to the dark room. But the truth lingered, my confidence was shaken, my sense of security ripped apart. The betrayal felt personal, deep, relentless. And the question I couldn't shake, who else knew? Who else had watched me, waiting for the right moment to strike? And yet, under the fear, a tiny spark of resolve glimmered. I didn't know how or when, but I knew I wouldn't just disappear. Not without a fight. When I got home, I thought at least my family would be my safe place. I was wrong. Grace, you look tired, Hannah said from the couch, smirking as she scrolled on her phone. Working yourself to death at 2 jobs, huh? I froze. I'm fine, I muttered, dropping my bag by the door. Fine, she laughed, a little too sharp. You're fired. Everyone at work knows. Didn't think you could mess up this badly. I wanted to shout, to throw the words back at her, but I swallowed the lump in my throat. It's not like that, Hannah. You don't understand. Don't understand? I get it perfectly, she interrupted. You can't even handle what's in front of you. 2 jobs, huh? Maybe HR was right. I clenched my fists, feeling the familiar sting of guilt and shame. Stop it, I whispered. You don't know the full story. Our mother appeared in the hallway, folding laundry with a faint frown. Grace, you always have to push your luck, don't you? She said quietly, almost disappointed. Maybe if you were more careful, this wouldn't have happened. I flinched. Careful? Mom, I've been working every hour I can. I've done everything I could to survive. Her voice softened, but it still carried that familiar weight. I know, sweetie, but sometimes surviving isn't enough. People watch you, and, well, mistakes have consequences. I sank onto the couch, burying my face in my hands. I wanted to cry but hated showing weakness. The walls of my home, the one place I thought I could rest, felt like they were closing in. The next day at work, I had no office to return to, but I walked by my old team's desks anyway. Whispers followed me down the hallway. She got herself fired, someone muttered. 2 jobs, can you believe it? I recognized the fear and judgment in their voices, the kind that isolates you. I felt my chest tighten, panic rising. Was everyone talking about me? Did they all see me as a failure now? Then I remembered Emily. My mind flashed to her half-smile during the HR meeting. Something didn't add up. Why had she gone so far? I started connecting the dots in my head. I called my friend Maya later that night. Maya, I think Emily's not just jealous, I said, pacing. She owes Olivia something. That's why she set me up. Maya's voice was cautious. Grace, are you sure? I think so. The way she looked at me in HR, it wasn't just envy. She knew exactly what she was doing. There's a web here, and I was the bait. Maya was silent for a moment. That's heavy. But if you know, maybe you can figure out a way to use it. Don't let her win. Her words sparked something in me. For the first time since the firing, I felt a flicker of control, a tiny ember of resilience. Maybe I wasn't completely powerless. Maybe I could find a way to fight back. I lay in bed that night, staring at the ceiling, thinking about Hannah's mocking tone, Mom's disappointed sighs, and Emily's calculating smile. Every betrayal and judgment had cut me, yes, but it had also lit something inside me. I whispered into the dark, I won't let them break me. I have to find a way to turn this around. I have to stand up for myself. The fear and shame lingered, but underneath, I felt the first stirrings of strength. I didn't know how yet, but I knew one thing. I wouldn't let Emily's manipulation, Olivia's bias, or my family's judgment define me. Not anymore. I couldn't sit in my apartment any longer, letting Emily's lies and Olivia's cold rules define me. I grabbed my laptop, flipping through emails, screenshots, and messages I'd collected over the months. If they think they can destroy me without consequences, they're wrong, I whispered, determination tightening my chest. The next morning, I called Jacob. I need your help, I said as soon as he answered. Grace. What happened? His voice carried concern, the kind that made me feel safe even over the phone. They fired me, I said, clenching my fists. For working 2 jobs, but it's Emily. She set me up. I can't just sit back. Jacob paused. Okay. First, breathe. Then, document everything. Every conversation, every email. We need proof. I've started already, I said, my voice shaky but resolute. I've got screenshots, messages, and I'm even thinking about recording future conversations. Good, he said. We'll build a case, Grace. And more importantly, we'll show them you're not powerless. Later, I met Jacob at a quiet cafe. You really think I can fight back? I asked, stirring my coffee nervously. I know you can, he said, leaning forward. You've survived before, haven't you? I swallowed hard, the memory stabbing me. College friends who lied, bosses who humiliated me, even my family sometimes turning on me. Each betrayal had cut deep, but I'd always found a way to get up. Yeah, I said quietly. I've survived worse. Maybe this is just another test. Emily walked past the cafe, oblivious, probably plotting her next move. I clenched my jaw. She's going to regret underestimating me, I muttered. Over the next few days, I meticulously recorded interactions, kept every message, and compiled my timeline. I began noticing cracks. Olivia, once so composed, grew impatient during calls. Emily tried whispering rumors to colleagues, but they ignored her this time. Karma was subtle, but it was happening. One afternoon, Emily cornered me near the elevator. Grace, I think you're overreacting, she said, her smile sharp and false. I held her gaze. Overreacting? No, Emily. I'm preparing. Unlike you, I don't rely on manipulation to get ahead. Her eyes flickered, a moment of hesitation. You think you can prove anything? I know I can, I said, finally feeling the weight of control shift toward me. And when I do, there won't be any room for lies or favoritism. That night, I sat alone, letting the adrenaline fade. I can't believe I let them get under my skin for so long, I whispered. But I didn't feel defeated anymore. I felt clarity, purpose. Each email I saved, every conversation I recorded, was a step toward reclaiming my life. Jacob called again. How's it going? He asked. I'm actually feeling stronger, I admitted. I thought I'd be scared, anxious all the time. But I'm learning, the fear is just part of the strategy. I can use it. Exactly, he said. Fear is fuel if you let it be. And Grace, remember, this isn't just about proving them wrong. It's about proving to yourself that you're worth more than their lies. I smiled, feeling a warmth I hadn't felt in weeks. Thank you, Jacob. Really. I think I'm ready. The days passed, and I noticed the shift. Emily's whispers fell flat, colleagues no longer treated me like a scandal, and Olivia started hesitating before making decisions. I felt my confidence returning, piece by piece. I whispered to myself that night, looking in the mirror, I'm not their victim. I'm Grace. I make the rules now. I decide how this story ends. For the first time since the firing, I didn't feel trapped. I felt alive, strategic, and ready. The ashes of betrayal and fear were no longer holding me down, they were fueling my rise. The day of the final meeting, my hands shook, but not with fear this time, it was determination. Jacob walked me to the HR office. You're ready for this, Grace, he said quietly. Remember, it's not just them. It's for yourself. I nodded. I'm ready. Olivia looked up from her desk, eyes narrowing. Grace, you wanted to meet. Yes, I said, my voice steady. I have something you need to see. I handed her a neatly organized folder. Every email, every message, every conversation that proves the lies told about me. Emily's manipulations, the favoritism, it's all here. Emily's face went pale. Grace, that's... Stop. I raised a hand. I don't want excuses. I want accountability. Olivia flipped through the documents, her eyes widening with each page. I didn't realize. You didn't check, I said, my voice sharp. You assumed, you trusted the wrong person, and it cost me everything. But now, you see the truth. Emily swallowed hard. I didn't mean for it to go this far, she whispered, voice trembling. You did, I said. And now you have to face it. Olivia closed the folder slowly, her face unreadable. Grace. I acknowledge my error. You were wronged. Emily's actions were inappropriate, and I should have verified the facts before acting. I felt a rush of relief, but I didn't soften yet. Acknowledgement is a start. But accountability matters. Emily, your actions have consequences. This isn't just about me, you've lost trust from everyone here. I hope you learn from it. She nodded silently, shame in her eyes. For the first time, I saw the full weight of her regret. Jacob squeezed my shoulder. See, You've reclaimed your power. I smiled faintly. It feels incredible. That evening, I went home, unsure how my family would react. Hannah looked up when I walked in. So, did you win? She asked cautiously. Yes, I said simply, sitting down. I did what I needed to do. I stood up, and I reclaimed my dignity. Mom folded her hands, eyes softening. Grace. I was wrong to doubt you. I see your strength now. I let out a breath I didn't realize I'd been holding. I'm not just surviving anymore, Mom. I'm living, and I won't let anyone's betrayal define me. Hannah nodded slowly, a flicker of respect in her eyes. I guess I misjudged you. I smiled. It's okay. We all learn. Later that night, I sat alone, reflecting on everything. I thought about the fear, the shame, and the nights I felt completely alone. And I realized something powerful. Betrayal can hurt, yes, but it also teaches strength. Pain can break you, or it can fuel you. I chose the latter. I whispered to myself, feeling the warmth of clarity spread through me. I am Grace. I survived. I learned. I am stronger than I ever knew. Jacob called before bed. How are you feeling? Free, I said, smiling. Like a weight has lifted. I'm ready to move forward, not as the person they doubted, but as myself, stronger, wiser, unbroken. He laughed softly. That's my Grace. For the first time in weeks, I slept without dread. The fire of betrayal had forged something new in me, confidence, clarity, and an unshakable sense of self-worth. I didn't need anyone else to define me. I had faced lies, manipulation, and judgment and emerged victorious. The scars remained, yes, but they were reminders of survival, resilience, and transformation. And as I looked toward the future, I knew one thing: fear no longer controlled me. Betrayal no longer defined me. I was Grace, strong, unbroken, and finally free.